Heading down south to the land of the pines, thumbing my way into North Carolina. Stare down the road, pray to God I see headlights. Made it down the coast in 17 hours. Picking me. Sports fans, it's a subscriber request day on Sly Wagon Lessons. I was asked a while ago by one of my valued subscribers, hey, could you take that fiddle break from Wagon Wheel and move it onto harmonica and play the guitar at the same time and show us how to do it? So here we are. I'm going to take that first fiddle break from the old Crow Medicine Show version of Wagon Wheel and try my best to replicate it on the harmonica. Bit about the process. I was asked by a family member just a couple of days ago. They said, hey, you can just listen to a fiddle break and know how to play it on the harmonica? And that's a resounding no to answer that question. Here's the process that I went through. I watched a fiddle lesson on the YouTube. I like Fiddlehead and subscribe to that one. It's Fiddlehead. There's no A in the head part, just H-E-D. He's a great teacher, and I am learning how to play the fiddle. I play a little fiddle. Here it is. It's a joke, because you see it's just little. But I do play the mandolin, and as you may know, the fingering, the layout of the notes is the same on a mandolin as on a fiddle. The big difference, of course, being that the mandolin has frets, and I'll tell you what, frets make it a whole lot easier. So what I was able to do was watch the fiddle lesson, play it on the mandolin, and then I can look at the fretboard on the mandolin and know what the notes are, move that over to the harmonica, where I also know what the notes are. We're playing in the key of A. It's a very simple chord progression I'm going to show you. We're playing in first position, so this is an A harmonica that I've got on the rack, and we're going to use both octaves, all right? So from 4 all the way up to whole 10 on this one. Actually, it's a good thing to remind yourself of the chromatic scale and rip one of those off. Sounds like this, starting on 4 blow. That's the first octave. Here's the next one. And it's missing a note, but you play the 10, blow. All right, so in between 10 draw and 10 blow, there's actually a note that's been left out because there's only 10 holes, and they wanted to get that root note in there again. Okay, so good idea, good practice before you start to get into this to familiarize yourself with that scale. And let me show you the simple chord progression. One of the big advantages of this song from the perspective of trying to learn the fiddle break on the harmonica is the chord progression is constant throughout, all right? Every chord gets a bar, which is easy as well. Now it is in kind of a swing time, so the second and the fourth beat in every measure get the emphasis. All right? So that's the chord progression throughout the song. It's a G and a D, E minor, and a C. Then it's a G and a D, sounding very familiar, but 2 measures of the C. Then rinse and repeat for the whole song. All right? So now I'll show you how to play that first fiddle break on the harmonica. I'm going to play it very slowly, and then maybe after that I'll bust it up into sections, and we can talk about each section as we go through it. All right, so just before I play it for you nice and slow, let's talk a little bit about some of the challenges. There's certain things that can be done on the fiddle that are very hard to replicate on the harmonica. One of those is slurring. So a slur on the fiddle is when you make one pull of the bow, usually a pull, and you play several notes on the neck of your fiddle, usually running up a scale, say, or down a scale. But sort of like a hammer down on the guitar, but it sounds really smooth and quite lovely on the fiddle. Hard to do on harmonica, because if you're going up the scale, you're going to have a real variety of inhale notes and blow notes. So it's not going to sound as smooth. You just kind of have to accept that. The other thing they do a lot of in this fiddle break is double stops, where they've got a droning open string. So the strings on a fiddle are like the mandolin, G, D, A, E, from low to high. So if they're playing notes on the D, for instance, the couple of pickup notes at the start, they're going to have a droning A string playing at the same time. Again, very hard to replicate on the harmonica, so I don't even bother. I just play single notes on this break. And the other sort of challenge around this song, I've found at least, is there's a whole lot of triplets in the fiddle break that I tried my best to replicate on the harmonica. So you've got your rhythm going, your swing rhythm in 4/4, but with the emphasis on the 2 and the 4 beat, while you're playing triplets on the harmonica. So that can be a challenging little combination of things to achieve. But when you do it, it sounds real nice. The trick is, at least what I did, was learn the two pieces separately first and quite cold, so that I can put them together more easily. And basically, I'm concentrating on playing the harmonica, and the hands are playing the guitar just kind of on autopilot. All right, so I'm going to play it nice and slow, so you can listen in and distinguish maybe the notes between each other a little bit. Then after that, I'll bust it up into sections, and when I get to there, I'm going to put them up in the PictoTab, because that'll be slower still, and I'll be able to put the notes up in the PictoTab for you, where a blue means blow and a red means draw. All right, here we go. Some bite-sized chunks that you can work on, and then rewind the chapter and do it again until you get that chunk down, and then move on to the next one, and then eventually put them all together. All right? With the notes in the PictoTab, blue means blow and red means draw. Starts on a 6th blow with those pickup notes. All right, that's not bad, and that gets you into that swing feel a little bit, and some triplets in there to work on. Okay, this next chunk is going to be nice and short, just a few notes. All right. All right, so this next chunk of notes is going to start with a bit of a run up that A scale, and then we get into a part where on the fiddle break they're using a real kind of seesaw attacking bow technique that we'll try to replicate on the harmonica. We're starting on the 7 blow, which is the root note A. Again. Now it gets you right up to that 10 draw way up high on the diatonic harmonica. Give that a try. All right, this next chunk continues that seesaw fiddle rhythm, bouncing back and forth between like an 8 draw and a 7 blow, 9 blow, 7 blow, 9 draw, 7 blow. Now, the second time I got it right. All right, give that one a try, and then we're going to do a long run down the harmonica. All right, the next part is really interesting. We're going to do kind of a meandering run down right to that bass note at the lower octave. All right, a 4 blow. We're starting, you'll remember we finished the last chunk on a 7 blow. We're going to just hop up to the 8 blow to start this run down. All right, let me show you that again. All right, so we did that long run down, and now we just need to squeeze in at this lower register that now familiar phrase from the fiddle break and wagon wheel. That's going to sound kind of familiar to you by this point, I hope. Let me do that run down again just to remind myself where we are. Here we go. One more time. And you know what? If you play it a little bit differently each time, I don't want you to worry about that. It's going to sound fine, particularly if you are able to maintain that kind of swing rhythm. You can't go too far wrong on the diatonic harmonica because it's only got the good notes, the notes that like each other, put together for your convenience on one harmonica. All right, so you've got some fun ahead of you, figuring out those various chunks and then putting them together, and then work Wagon Wheel into your set list. All right.